This is a Team Schism YouTube channel. Today we're bringing you Cameron Waddup's top 4 Birmingham regional deck profile. What did you play, Cameron?
Decided to play Mikanko because everything feels terrible this format. Like, you've got Cash, but I don't want to play Shifter. You've got like Fire King, which isn't a real deck. And that was basically it for the format. Like, I wanted to play something with the DML engine, but I didn't want to play Fire King.
Fair enough.
Start off with profile. You obviously play 3 Ahime. It's the good card of the archetype that's a monster. Play double Hari and 1 Huli. Huli's actually the better monster, but doesn't really do anything on its own. So the Hari's better off because it gets you to search and equip, which means you can search Arabesque, which obviously is your best equip. Arabesque is letting you go into boards with people, and the fact that you can just search this and then bounce something on your opponent's field to get you into engine is absolutely broken. You have to play 3 of this, is the best card. Played the one-ofs. We decided to play the ritual spell, much to Jackstock shouting at me saying we have to. All of these are like typically bad to see, but if you've seen 1 or 2 of them, it's not actually terrible. This is typically search for follow-up, where we dump this so we can get one back from grave. This is snatch steal, so it's broken. This is how we summon a Ahime turn 1 most of the time, and this is just the ritual spell. Allows us to break boards, and it's very uninteractable with, unless they're setting up an Omni or a spell trap. And it just lets you do like a fat load of damage for no apparent reason.
Did you play this engine just so you could look at Ahime, or?
Yeah, due to attack point theory, I am going to prison. We played consistency cards because if I bricked, I'd have cried. We played Spirit Walk because no one wanted to read this card, so it became a good interruption. But also equipping your opponent's monsters is cool, and also time, lol. We played the cheapest engine in the format. Don't know why people don't want to play it, like about 5p. We're using it a bit weird, so instead of sending the DML off to summon a level 1, we're actually keeping that around and sending out something else off our field, so we can summon out one of our level 1 monsters, which are Jet Synchron, Bradamanta and Renaud. You'll typically be summoning Jet Synchron because it allows you to start synchro climbing into this deck's boss monster, as old at home. You need to play 3, so we can search this out later in the combo. You don't typically want to summon this off original sin because it doesn't become a tuner, because they wanted Infernoble to be fair, bring back as old. And Bradamanta is just the extra way that we can have a tuner in deck if we need to summon off original sin. So say like we normal Jet Synchron and do an SP line first.
Also, the card's good with like Durendal.
Yeah, it's like letting us get into Durendal and things like that. We've got the 2 Infernoble equips. This is what we'll be equipping to our as old at home, which is Power Tool Braver. Playing 2, and like we're already in a equip deck anyway, so playing a higher count and this letting us add back a fire means the discard off of Jet isn't as bad. So we get like add Renaud and then discard the Renaud.
Gives you an extra pop off your.
Yeah, it gives us an extra pop off ritual spell, which doesn't come up all that often because people typically only end on like 4 or 5 cards. If you go against like a lab player who's opened everything, you just nuke the board and deal like all their health on the Rit spell. We played the Magician Souls package because I'm not afraid of Droll in the slightest. Like Droll doesn't affect this deck, but I like not letting you play the game. So we just use Magician Souls to draw extra cards, and you can do some like cheeky lines where if you're really not afraid of your opponent, you Power Tool Braver equip 3, spec your Magician Souls and then draw 2 off the equips you send, and then your opponent cries. Got Diviner because you can't play Gen and Ken anymore because you can't summon them off as old, big up. Diviner's like the 2nd best normal summon effectively, like gets you into your ritual engine and puts a 6 on board, which is like a relevant number as a tuner because you can summon a Mikanko monster and then make Power Tool Braver, which is the only card I'm like talking about in this extra deck. The rest of the cards are terrible, bro. We played Fenrir because even though I didn't want to play Shifter, Cash is still the best deck, which is heartbreaking. This card is it's the same level as DML, so if they remove your DML and you can still send something and summon a Jet Synchron, it lets you do the as old at home line. Then also like just specking this into a board and adding off of it, because we're obviously not afraid of Droll, lol. You just get to have a free discard for your engine, because Mikanko's a bit heavy on discards, and also like doesn't like keeping cards in its hand. MVP of the day, hand traps are for people who are afraid of combo. So we played Spolly. You'll see what Spolly types we're playing in a second, but like just being able to break boards with this, or like even setting it going first as an interruption, Like, loads of decks just couldn't play through this. It nukes Labs board, it's good into mana. Like, Fire King's an irrelevant deck, but you can do it into this. Then we've got Talents, because while I'm not afraid of Droll, when I do get Drolled and want to pass, I can look at my opponent's hand and take their starter away. Unless they're playing Fire King and they've opened Wanted and Tonics. But it was just the next best engine piece, because I didn't think hand traps were very good to main in the deck. So might as well play like a board breaker effectively. And we'll move on to the extra. So we've got the Spolly targets. We didn't play Draco, because that's like, I'm not wasting that much of my extra. But all of these came up, except Guilty Gearfried, which I had to Spolly my own board and then realised it wasn't correct because I tried to use Bradamanta and Hari, and my teammate quickly pointed that out because I was playing against him and then battered him. Played Anima as the link one. It's mainly for an SP, but people still don't play around Anima zones. No clue why. Let's just take stuff, make an SP. It's SP. Played Dark and Heater. It's a climb. We play Celine, so we can swim out the Deerbell, and both of these are the attributes we're in. It's the best two attributes you can play at this time, so you might as well play both of them. Celine, like I said, summon back Deerbell, climbs into a link 4. Access code. Mikanko can't kill with only their monsters because they're all 0 for some reason. So just drop in an access code and then like a Deerbell body or something like that. Just lets you get games off people. Especially if you've Rit spelled someone, so you can Rit spell them and then just climb into an access code and kill them. And people are always surprised when you're playing Mikanko and you actually kill them without having a monster. Double Arclight, so we're sending at least one off Diviner. And then the second one, a lot of the time, if you open like a Claggy hand, you can start climbing into this and then link it off into something like an SP, which A, lets you add a ritual monster and gets you into engine, and B, like, there's certain decks that are just afraid of this. Like, if you can drop a bit of a protected board and then drop this against tier, you just win. Like, you need to play 2, and even if you don't make it, the second one, like, if you normal Diviner again,
or you can
broken.
like bring back your Diviner off your Baron and stuff.
Yeah, bring back Diviner off Baron, summon again, like, it's just broken. The Sync Climb stuff, so we play a Cell, so we can make the MVP of the deck as Old at Home. I don't miss the card, Konami, please unban it. This is basically as Old, except you don't summon or send the equip cards or search. So that's why we're better into Droll. This card actually does better than as Old.
Yeah.
But equipping 3 from deck, you get to equip like Almace, Durendal and Maya Washidori, which gets you 2 engine. Or if you've not opened any Mikanko engine, you can equip Water Arabesque instead.
And then just bounce the Braver.
Yeah. People also forget that like if they force you to use your Baron Negate, you can tag back into Braver, and this is on Special Summon, not on Synchro Summon. So you get to equip 3 again, and then it's an Imperm, or like you can change the battle position of a monster, which, I mean, you're always using it as the Imperm, but it's there. It's actually like a crazy boss monster. It's just, I still miss linking 2 warriors away. Baron, you climb into it after your Power Tool Braver, and then Typhon. Just summon this into people. It helps you get game a lot of the time. There's no reason why you shouldn't be playing this card if your deck facilitates it. And we'll move on to the side deck. So, played triple evenly matched. A lot of the time, you're not killing because like the game states that are set up. So we just wanted to evenly our opponent, like chip away at their board, because that's what Mikanko does. And then unlike Cash, which wants to set up a really simple game state, Mikanko's goal is to make the game state as complicated as possible. So your opponent misplays. And evenly match is helping us do that in that case. Well, I told you hand traps were bad. We did play some. So we played
just
Ash.
Fear combo.
Just fear combo. Like, Fire King was in the room while it was irrelevant. Ash Island makes them pass, lol. Droll, because some people still think Vanadium's a deck. I mean, it is, but like, you know, Droll and Lockbird means it's not. We played the MVP and the best Mikanko monster in the game, Lava Golem. You just board this out every time you go second. Your Lava Golem, then you can go Lava Golem, Arabesque equip, bounce your Lava Golem, Lava Golem.
Also, it's just like big to OTK with
it's
Mikankos.
big into any Mikanko monster. So 2 Mikanko monsters, one of them being a Hime, is an OTK line. And people just don't like letting Lava Golem, so that makes me happy inside. Self-explanatory. We played triple Cosmic. Just more hate for back row. Some people still play Runic decks, much like Jamie Hunter. And just hitting their fountain makes them sad.
You can also side Shen Shen, but
You could. We were talking about playing Shen Shen in the extra deck, but our team leader Jack Stocks said that it was a bad idea because he's afraid of FUM. What I'd actually do is instead of playing Power Tool Bravery, I'd just make Shen Shen. I would have lost to Connor Kelly if I played Shen Shen. Fortunately enough, I beat Connor Kelly.
You got any shout-outs before we wrap it up?
Big shout out to Jamie Hunter. He played Runic for the event and lost to my teammate Dan Bounds. Big shout out Jack Stocks. He put a lot of effort into this deck and then was afraid of topping, so he decided not to play it. Shout out my boy Luke Crowder. Played the first 2 rounds, then dropped 'cause the floor was sticky.
Clock floor.
Big up Joe Ray. He played Branded. Who else we got to shout out? I'll shout out my wife Mary. She listened to me tell her why Mikanko is the best deck. And then just said, Cameron, why aren't you making tea? Who else we got to shout? Shout out to Connor Kelly for playing hero so I could win my last round. I think that's all for the profile. Big up Team Schism.